What do you say? What do you say to the people who dragged a poor white guy out of a car and beat him?
Oh my goodness, poor white people! Please, oh my, stop it, Carl.
Those white guys, those middle-aged, boring, nerdy-looking white guys.
I don't even know what diversity means, but whatever. Thank you.
It means non-white men.
What do you mean we're lucky to be white?
It's not luck, it's privilege.
We're privileged.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men.
Whites will not be the majority. I mean, it's an exciting transformation of the country. It's an exciting evolution and progress of our country in many different ways.
It's a kind of utopia, just the fact that the whole world will mix up with each other, that in, 70, 80 years, there will be no white people anymore and only cappuccino-colored people.
But that's the only way. This is the only solution. This is my way of thinking.
Mix up.
It's our only hope. It's our way out of this.
Yes.
It's going to take some time.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
White Americans will soon be a minority, and that's great.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
And you stop it! You are a white male!
True.
Stop it! You are a white male! Your skin is light enough! Stop it!
You're a white woman with blonde hair.
Yeah?
That's racist. You are racist.
You're a white male! So? You're a white man!
Nobody has to save you because you're a fucking white man who gets to do whatever he wants to in this space, right? You don't have a fucking culture.
I don't?
No, you don't.
Oh.
We're fucking white. We don't have a goddamn fucking culture.
Are you?
I sit here as a privileged white woman. I cannot imagine, but I appreciate you educating us.
Well, because we're white, we have had privilege, even the poorest of us.
When you're white, you don't know what it's like to be living in a ghetto. You don't know what it's like to be poor. You don't know what it's like to be hassled when you walk down the street or you get dragged out of a car.
So we have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right. And we have to start doing something about them. There is no travel ban on them. There is no ban on, they had the Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that?
I saw a thing in that said a lot of men, white men, were committing suicide. And I almost thought, yeah, great. And then I thought about it a little more, and I thought, well, maybe you shouldn't say that in public.
White Americans will soon be a minority, and that's great.
What I did wrong in 2016 is I overestimated white people.
And white people have been probably woefully late to this conversation.
But I'm not willing to let white voters off the hook. The sweeping vistas stir the soul. Wildlife and waterfalls awaken a sense of wonder. The American wilderness, a playground for old and for young, and overwhelmingly white. The National Park Service says the persistent whiteness of its 419 parks is an existential crisis.
It is not the job of black people and ethnic minorities to educate white people on racism that is perpetrated by white people.
Still generations of people, older people, who were born and bred and marinated in it, in that prejudice and racism, and they just have to die.
Quel est l'objectif? Ça va faire parler. Et l'objectif, c'est relever le défi du métissage. Défi du métissage que nous adresse le XXIe siècle.
Ce n'est pas un choix. C'est une obligation. C'est un impératif. On ne peut pas faire autrement. Si ce volontarisme républicain ne fonctionnait pas, il faudra alors que la République passe à des méthodes plus contraignantes encore.
My concern is doing away with whiteness. Whiteness is a form of racial oppression, sure. The suggestion is that it is somehow possible to separate whiteness from oppression, and it is not. There can be no white race without the phenomenon of white supremacy. If you abolish slavery, you abolish slaveholders. In the same way, if you abolish racial oppression, you do away with whiteness. Treason to whiteness is loyalty to humanity.
Your views are fairly well received in academia.
Yes, they're legitimate, not to say that everyone agrees.
It is incumbent upon people who hold the power in this society to help to do that, to do the heavy lifting. And guess who that is? Who is that, Chris?
White people.